This is a chance to do something that, as an architect, I dream of. Make a zero energy home. I mean, to make something that's totally powered by the sun.
Communications, then we're going to do architecture, design, they're going to have most of the time.
But our next round of deliverables, which is our final construction set, in 31 days, and that's including spring break, which you may know.
I'm Catherine Lee. I'm the architectural project manager for the Solar Homestead. I am an appropriate technology major. That's wind power, solar power, and kind of some building science, insulation issues as well. So it's a perfect major to go with my undergraduate major, which was architecture. We took the ideas of the homestead and tried to meld them into a new, more modern homestead. It doesn't look like a traditional log cabin that you'd see up in these mountains, but we think it takes a lot of the big ideas. The idea of the front porch being a social place where people come together and play music and hang out. We have our great porch, which has the solar canopy over it. So the solar canopy is actually supporting the entire house in the same way that the outbuildings, the barn, chicken coop, all those outbuildings would have supported the main house on a subsistence farm.
The early settlers around this area would have all these outdoor modules which they would use for different purposes. So one would be the smokehouse, and then they'd have a kitchen or whatever. They'd have all these different units. So we kind of wanted to take that concept and drive our design decisions from that. So that's kind of where we got this one main house, then we have the flex space, and then we have these outdoor modules to house different storage units. The way we had to design it for transportation, we actually have all these modules and trailers so that we can take it to DC and bring it back here, because we'll actually be building it here and then transporting it to DC.
Yeah, our trailers have been custom designed, 12 feet wide by 25 feet, 10 1/8 inches. My name is Travis McKenzie. I've been involved in the Solar Decathlon project since the fall of 2009. I was one of the original 8 that helped write the proposal that got us into the U.S. Department of Energy Solar Decathlon. There'll be a total of 10 trailers. 3 trailers will make up our house, 1 trailer will make up our flex portion, and then 6 trailers will make up our outdoor modules, our outbuilding modules, our OMs, as we call them. They told me they were bringing me in because they wanted me to keep this thing buildable and affordable, and we got to have a happy balance between what's affordable and what's going to serve the job and get the systems working properly. That's more than reasonable. Kevin's smiling because he's like, yeah, I got 5 days.
I think that one of the most unique things about our team is that a lot of previous teams and a lot of teams from other schools that are competing now are composed nearly entirely of architects or entirely of engineers, or teaming up with another school that will do one of those fields. And we don't have an architecture or engineering school, and some people are really surprised when we tell them that. But what we do have is we have the appropriate technology, which is all about renewable energy systems, wind power, solar, hydro, and geothermal, and we have practical skills with installing those. So doing solar panels is something we do every day. Additionally, we have building science, and they've been studying how buildings go together and how to do it right.
Everything on this is unique. It's a one-off build. It's taking some unique construction systems in. Our wall system is a staggered stud wall system. We're using a 2x8 bottom plate and top plates with a staggered stud 2x4 wall system. And for me to be able to come in out of the field and give some of my knowledge and background, it works out well for them because these guys can feed off of me, I can feed off of them. I learn something new every day out here.
Hey Austin, push it in at the top a little bit.
It's pretty easy to come up with a system that will just work great, but it's very expensive. And most of my ideas have gone from great ideas but cost several $1,000s to need to be almost as good and cost a lot less. And that's something I've had to get used to. I've never really dealt with that problem before, and it's challenging, but it's definitely worthwhile.
In previous competitions, they've usually done battery-based systems, but as the trend in the United States and across the world has been more and more for grid-tied systems, that's now what the Department of Energy is requiring. So the houses will be connected into a mini grid and then tied to the greater utility grid, and during the day we'll feed electricity onto it when it's sunny, and at night when we run our stove and our TV, we'll pull it off the grid. And at the end of the 2 weeks, we just need to produce more than we've used.
As far as solar photovoltaics, It will have to be grid tied. For our competition, we have to create as much energy as we use. For solar thermal, we're experimenting with some concentrating systems as well as solar thermal energy storage. I really want to work on large-scale renewable energy projects, utility-sized or industrial-sized or both. I would like to become a professional engineer one day and work on energy systems.
This is a great project to be part of. Having built a solar-powered home, when I go back into the market, I think that's going to make me marketable, because I think that's the direction that the world's going.
I believe the renewable energy systems that I'm learning about, the technologies that I'm learning about currently, is going to give me an edge up on the competition, because that's what I want to offer is renewable construction, energy efficient construction, and I want to be able to provide a healthy home for the homeowner.
Make sure you keep writing letters, making phone calls, call the White House.
Get everyone you know to write letters.
Get everyone you know to write letters. I got my parents and my grandma to write a letter, so keep doing that, because I really think we're in the final push for that. Within the next week, something's going to have to break.
There's actually a rumor that somebody may be meeting with President Obama about
My opinion about the Solar Decathlon being removed from the National Mall, I think it's absolutely a travesty.
It's sad that they took the honor away from us.
I'm a little disappointed that we're not on the National Mall. That's the nation's front lawn.
A complete tragedy. If Obama's serious about this being the Sputnik moment and trying to get away from foreign oil and going into renewable energies, we need to be on the front lawn of the United States, and that is the National Mall.
The Decathlon has been on the National Mall for 4 competitions past, and it should be for the 5th one. We are contractually obliged to pay for any damages that we do, and we have no problem doing that.
And I was really looking forward to being on the National Mall, being able to say that I helped build a house that was put on the National Mall.
I think it's kind of hypocritical from a governmental standpoint. In order to lead by example, we need to keep our tradition of our competition consistent. This competition is a homegrown competition. There's a Solar D Europe and there's going to be a Solar D China, and those competitions were spun off of ours. This is an American tradition and it needs to stay that way.
At this time when we're trying to transition to cleaner energy sources and not rely so much on foreign imported power and oil, I think showcasing the latest in energy efficiency technology and showcasing affordable renewable energy solutions is very important, and there's no better venue for that than on the National Mall, and showing that it's in the forefront of what we're trying to do as a nation.
So for us to be one of 20 schools in the world is a huge deal.
The university is quite excited about this project.
It's the biggest thing that Appalachian State's ever been involved in. It showcases everything that the school has been doing and that Western North Carolina has been doing.
We're very confident, very excited, and very proud to be a part of it.
If we get a venue change, I look at that as an opportunity. I mean, that's another opportunity for us to grow.
And keep on moving. Keep designing and keep building.